Mr. Manyi, you know, do you not, that Mr. Maseko came to tell the chairperson about the extent of unlawful instructions imposed upon him by a member of the Gupta family. You know that?
Yes.
Mr. Maseko came here and testified almost for the whole day about that evidence. Do you have reason to doubt what he told the chairperson?
Do I have reason to doubt?
What Mr. Maseko told the chairperson about the true nature of the instruction given to him or imposed upon him by a member of the Gupta family?
Yes, I have reason to doubt.
Do you have reason to doubt what then Deputy Minister Jonas told the chairperson about the offer that was made to him by a member of the Gupta family?
Let me start with the first one. I'll come to that one.
Please answer the second question because you've answered the first. You can explain the second question later on.
Yes, I have reason to doubt.
Minister Nene, then Minister of Finance, came here to tell the chairperson a number of things, including the way he was dismissed. Do you have reason to doubt what he told the chairperson in that regard?
I didn't listen to Minister Nene's one. But I listened to these two.
You did not listen to the evidence of Minister Nene?
No.
Did you follow the evidence of Minister Godan?
That's where I struggled, actually. I came very excited. I had booked off the whole day to listen to Minister Godan because I thought, because he was the Minister of Finance, he's going to have tangible information, paper trail, and all that. I struggled. I sat here and I listened and I listened, and I lost concentration, to be honest.
But you heard what he said to the chairperson, even though you may have lost concentration.
I think by definition it means if you've lost concentration, you can't hear as effective.
Do you have reason?
Mr. Malega, I'm sorry. Well, for what it's worth, Mr. Manyi, let me mention that if I recall correctly, Mr. Godan, like I think a number of people who were at National Treasury at some stage have indicated, and I think he also indicated that he has other matters in regard to which he wanted to give evidence, but he was advised by the Commission's legal team that that would need to come later because at this stage the Commission is dealing with certain specific terms of reference. So I just want to mention that he might not be done in terms of things that he wants to cover.
Right. Okay, Chairman, thank you for that. I will listen when he does that.
Thank you.
Mr. Manyi, you heard the evidence of Mr. Fuzili.
Yeah, partly.
You heard that part of his evidence when he told the chairperson about what Mr. Gondongwana said to him.
About Mr.?
Gondongwana.
Or about the phone call or something?
Yes.
Yeah, I heard that part.
You heard that evidence?
Yes.
Yes. Do you have any reason to doubt what he said to the chairperson as you sit here today?
Well, yes, I do.
Well, just explain to me why.
Because I would have thought, you see, I could start from the beginning, the three people that I say have reason to doubt, so that is clear. For instance, let's start with Mr. Maseko. He said, the president said, now, in other words, and the chairperson was very clear to explain that statement bullet by bullet, what it means, that help these Gupta brothers, so to speak. Now, I was a DG myself, so ministers, because they are public reps, they are the face of the department. They are the chief face of the department. So people interface with ministers, people interface with the president, because these are the people that go in the ballot box. So people go to them naturally to say, I need this, I need that. And the presidents and the ministers do not have the apparatus. The only thing they can point to is to the DG. And the DG must then point the people to processes that must be followed. and all that. I mean, if Mr. Maseko had said that President said to him, I don't care about what processes that must be followed and all that. I didn't hear him saying this. He just said help. So that would have been said to me by a number of people, ministers, to say help these people. And we call the people in, you explain to them how the process works. That is helping the people. So that was my understanding. But the characterization of that request was a characterization that could lead to only one and one conclusion only, that the president was sort of getting him to do something that was unlawful. So that's why I have doubts about the rest of everything else. So Mr. Jonas, for instance, he makes a claim that he makes, and the next thing, he's not even clear who actually did this. At the one point he says it's Mr. A.J. Gupta, then he's not clear, then somebody else. Then I'm not sure if what is this thing and so on. And by the way, part of the disturbing thing, Chairperson, which is in the public domain, is that they were in some hotel and then they drove to Tuzan. I'm saying to myself, why does the deputy minister leave his bodyguards and everybody and drive with this young chap on a car to some place that he said is not even familiar with this place? So all those kinds of things, they just leave you wonder as to what exactly was at play here. So things like that, Chairperson, for me, they just are things that I just don't understand. So I can't vouch for people that have got those kinds of what I think are gaps in their depositions.